that as well. The state of Texas wants us to have some variation and some input ourselves at the local level on choosing the way we want to be graded. So go ahead and, oh yeah, when we talk about school progress, guys, we're talking about student growth. That's one indicator. And the other indicator is relative performance. So we'll talk about student growth and relative performance. Next slide, please, sir. All right, so for school progress, we're on growth. We're going to look at growth for the second domain, school progress. Next slide, please, sir. Thank you. So there's a point system involved, and we don't have time to really go too much into the point system. Again, you have the literature, and Ms. Hudson will help you if you have specific questions. But with school progress, we're doing just that. The state of Texas is assessing how well we're doing from year to year. And there's a point system where students are awarded points for student growth. Next slide, please, sir. So the two aspects are student growth and relative performance. For the domain, this is an indicator, and our domain is school progress that we're at now. Next slide, please, sir. Please bear with me, we're almost finished, guys, so I can't wait to talk a little bit about NACHES and how we did last year. The last part is closing the gaps. So they want to look and see how well we are closing school performance gaps. But before we do that, let's go back a couple of slides, please, Mr. Bradley. Yeah, for relative performance. So relative performance, I think it's noteworthy to take the time to talk about this relative performance. What relative performance means is that the state of Texas has a system in place to take a look at our test scores relative to the number of economically, I can't think of the word right now, economically disadvantaged students. And NACHES, we have about a 32% rate of economically disadvantaged students. And studies have shown, it's pretty simple, that if a school has a high rate of economically advantaged students, then they typically are going to have higher test scores. And studies have shown that if it's a campus that has low socioeconomic status, so a high rate of economically disadvantaged students, they don't do as well. So the state of Texas takes that into account when it looks at relative performance indicator. So I wanted to just point that out, guys. And that's real important because not everybody gets starts the same spot in life, and equity can be an issue. Anyway, so I really like that part of the program, of the accountability system. Next slide, please, Mr. Bradley. All right, the last part though is closing the gaps. And let's look at this last domain. What's our time at this point, Bradley?
1:55.
Okay, good deal. We've got about 5 or 10 more minutes, and then we're going to have to stop, and then I'll take a few questions from the audience. See if you guys have any questions. Next slide, please, sir. Okay, so for closing the gaps, we're going to look. The state of Texas looks at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subpopulation groups. One is race and ethnicity. Another is special education, continuously enrolled and mobile, English learners, and economically disadvantaged. Next slide, please, sir. Well, let's talk about how we did. We got an A, guys. The district got an A 2018-2019. Specifically, we got a 96, which was great. And we think we can do that again this year. And we're looking forward to your students coming in and being a part of that process. Student achievement was 96. Student progress was 93. We had distinction designations in mathematics, post-secondary readiness, and comparative academic growth. Next slide, please, sir. All right. Now, there's also local accountability. The system has this accountability system has an opportunity for the local community. That's us, guys, to get involved here. Extracurricular activities and local assessments. Yes, sir. Next slide, please. Good deal. Let's go ahead and, in the interest of time, let's go to the next slide. And the next slide. All right. So, high school districts, when we're determining our letter grade, is a variation of 3 different, adding up the STAR results, college, career, military readiness, CCMR, and graduation rates. Next slide, please. So, but remember, elementary and middle school, they get their grade solely off of STAR. So you have essentially 4 grades. You have the elementary, NACHES has 4 grades. Elementary grade, middle school grade, high school grade, and then the overall district grade. And I want to clarify something. When I say 96, I do apologize. That's the high school that made 96. Last year, 2018, 2019, the high school received a 96 on their report card. So they got an A. And the high school got a B. But unfortunately, the junior high and elementary, which is considered one campus, got a C. So there's opportunities for us to improve. We know we need to improve now because of the system at the junior high, and then to aim even higher at the high school. Our district received a 96. Next slide, please, sir. All right, so there's 3 different ways we can do this. You can do a 45% of the domain score off of STAR, or 45% of the domain score from the CCMR, career, college, military ready, and then 10% of the domain score of the graduation rates. Next slide, please. Another way we can do it is 50-50. 50 STAR, 50% CCMR. College, career, or military ready. Next slide, please. And the last one would be, the other way, would be 100% of the domain score plus graduation rates. Yes, sir. Next slide, please. All right. And then one more slide. Very good. I got my information from the Texas Education Agency at https://tea.texas.gov/Texas Education Agency. Now, I think Ms. Hudson has some specific things she wants to talk about as far as the endorsement programs are concerned. Specifics. If y'all have any questions about anything, though, for me, I'd be happy to take your questions. Okay, if there are no questions, then I hope your guys have a good year next year. We'll be closing up this 8th grade year for them, boys and girls and boys. We've enjoyed having them. They're a good group of kids, and we look forward to, Ms. Hudson looks forward to working with them and picking their endorsements and working towards their career goals. Y'all have a good day.